It was in this great state where we took the first steps of an unlikely journey to change America. The skeptics predicted we wouldn't get very far, but the people of Iowa had a different idea.
1 year after Barack Obama won the White House, piecing together a coalition of Democrats, independents, and even some Republicans, we decided to revisit the place where it all began, Iowa.
We don't know how I will deal and my family will deal with the rigors of this campaign.
We went to that first event that day in Cedar Rapids. That's when we signed volunteer cards.
In the first political act of her life, Candy Schmieder became one of his biggest supporters, volunteering with her daughter day and night and seeing him speak 19 times. Today, she still believes in him.
So it sounds like you sort of trust in on about everything.
I do. I think things have gone very well in light of all that he's had to juggle.
On election night last November, Candy's home county ended in a perfect tie.
Remember how he told us the red, the blue, you know?
One of the Republicans who switched parties and helped make that happen is now having second thoughts.
I'm afraid I wasn't realistic. I really thought there would be immediate change. I really did. I thought this is the end of politics. He wants us to all be bipartisan as long as they agree with the Democrats. But that isn't bipartisan.
It's led to a good-natured rift between her and her husband, a loyal Democrat.
We didn't argue for one whole year. Really? When we were both for Obama.
The political conversation inside the McGreevy home speaks to a larger point. The coalition that Mr. Obama built is showing at least some signs of fraying. When the campaigning is over and normal life resumes here, the reality of governing sets in. The president's advisors are watching closely for early indicators of next year's midterm elections. And, most importantly, when the president goes back on the campaign trail for himself. In Iowa, second thoughts are already emerging across the state. Kathy Schaefer is a Republican, but in 2007 she was thinking Democratic.
I could, which is, don't show this to my husband.
You know, I know. Well, we still get along. I thought, well, let the Democrats get in and have a chance. See if they can straighten some things out.
Her husband was unmoved.
His vision of what America should be is much different than what conservatives think.
On the issues, her views have not aligned with the president's.
Domestically, I'm disappointed. I think there's just too many government programs. Foreign policy, I'm more of a dove than a hawk. I do not want to see the war escalate in Afghanistan. I'm in a lose-lose.
In the town of Nevada, it's a little warmer than on the night of the Iowa caucuses in January 2008. In one household, the questions are coming from the left side of the political spectrum.
If there's going to be a change, it's going to be at the next caucus.
Paul and Kathy Johnson are solid liberal Democrats. She ran the local caucus last time.
All right, all in favor of me doing this, say aye. Aye.
Mr. Obama wasn't their first, second, or even third choice that night. But now, the Johnsons are supporters, at least on most matters.
I think if he gets us involved in a serious quagmire in Afghanistan, I would consider another candidate in the caucus and in the primaries.
Another fundamental issue for them is health care.
It's overdue for him to actually take charge here. I like the idea that he was trying to invite the Republicans on board and he wanted them to have input into everything, but I think there comes a time when he has to see he was elected. So you lead.
For the White House, the economy is a worrisome undercurrent. In few Iowa communities are the economic pressures more pronounced than in the Democratic stronghold of Newton. Not surprisingly, perhaps, this is the one place in Iowa Mr. Obama has visited as president.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
The town's economic base once revolved around a washing machine factory, but since it closed 2 years ago, Maytag has been relegated to nostalgia.
You can't have a Fortune 500 company leave and not have a major setback. That's one of our strengths outside of Newton. Businesses see that we have empty buildings and an idle workforce.
President Obama visited here on Earth Day to highlight the production of wind turbines at the old Maytag plant.
And to all the great workers
who are here at this plant. Thank you.
But it's hardly a replacement. The company employs only a fraction of what Maytag did.
I don't know how long it'll be here, so they tend to move where the production is, or they cut costs that way. So,
two brothers, Mike and Chris Bullifer, worked for Maytag, but have taken different paths since the factory closed. Mike stayed in the same building and is now making wind turbines, while Chris went to school to become a photographer.
The competition right now, with all the people that are lost jobs, it really puts you up against the wall.
As he works to reinvent himself, Chris says he looks to the president as a model.
To me, he's inspirational because he's overcame a lot of adversity, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot more. He's going through it right now. That he's trying to do something different. That's the key, is that being able to change, being willing to change, knowing you have to change, and embracing it.
But Mike, who had a chance to meet Mr. Obama, seemed a little less impressed.
you just sat there and listened to him speak and got up and went home for the day.
How these brothers, and voters generally, judge the Obama presidency depends on how the country progresses. The next 3 months may provide a window for more accomplishments that could address some of the uneasiness. It remains an open question, though, whether the coalition that rallied around Mr. Obama will be there for him again.
Talk to me in a couple more years, and when it's re-election time, and I'll let you know. Because I pretty much put all my eggs in his basket, so.
Let's see in a couple years where we're at, but I haven't liked the first 9 months.
Even one of the president's most ardent supporters knows that his path to re-election may not be a smooth one.
Given all the situations that he's dealing with, the economy and the war, I think it's going to take some work.